Sometimes you hear about an organization, a group of people that are doing extraordinary things. I have my Winnipeg connection, Carmen Aleshka, who informed me about Rainbow Railroad, and here today is the CEO, Justin Taylor. When Carmen told me about this, my heart just went out. And for a minute there, I thought, wow, I live in a bubble and I don't really realize this. So I'm going to let you, Justin, tell us what Rainbow Railroad is all about.
Well, thank you. Our organization started in 2006, and we help LGBT people around the world escape state-sponsored violence. So what that means in practice, we get requests for help from people who are in high-risk countries like Nigeria, Uganda, Jamaica. We work with them to verify their case and help them figure out their own personal route to safety. And then when we have the funds to do so, we pay for things like airfare and pre-travel support. So since 2006, we've helped almost 95 individuals by paying for airfare and pre-travel support, and we've helped about 75 others just with giving them the information they need to realize what their rights are and what the possibilities are to get to safety.
Okay, so we'll talk more with Justin about this organization, but Carmen, you bring it to light, you bring it here to Winnipeg, and it's, I think, just a real eye-opener.
Yeah, it's important. When I met Justin a couple of years ago, they have a strong Toronto focus, but his plan was to take this across the nation. There's no one else doing it in the country, and as a country, we believe in human rights, and this is a great issue since they're so grassroots and they get right to saving a life. It's very rare that you can find an organization or a charity that can physically save a life for, $5,000 to $10,000.
All right, so we need to raise money, we need to raise awareness. I've seen pictures, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, well, the cases that we receive requests from really have been through some tragic situations. A lot of women in some of these countries, when they're outed to their families, there's a practice called corrective rape, where people in their community violently assault them. We have individuals who've had their homes invaded, been stabbed in their homes, people who've had family members tie them up and stab them and leave them for dead. These are the types of stories we get requests for help from. And often we're not able to figure out a solution immediately, but for these people, they'll write back and say, you are the first organization that's written back to me. You're the first person that's told me my life's not garbage and that I'm not worthless, and you've given me hope for the future. So it's really that first step that helps with the cases the most. And then we work very hard to not only raise funds to pay for airfare and travel support, but also raise funds to figure out what the heck are we going to do in these countries? Because every day there's a case that comes in from a new region where we have to build new connections and raise funds to develop expertise there. So it's a big challenge and it's growing, but I really believe that we've got the support of the community behind us and an increasing support across the country that's really making this all possible.
Oh, Carmen, how has this affected you and your family,
Well, I guess my husband's brother is gay, and him and his partner were living in the U.S., and basically they wanted to kick my brother-in-law out of the country. So they couldn't stay together, and they ended up moving to Canada about 10 years ago. And so they've dealt with human rights issues, not with their life necessarily threatened, but being able to live together in society. And it being socially acceptable. So when you see these people in a situation where their lives are being staked for just being who they are, it just cries, help me, and makes me want to jump in and do something about it.
Oh, well, I mean, human rights, we have a museum here now. We support, we have Pride Week. How far along have we come as citizens dealing with this?
Well, the situation is very different in a lot of different countries. So right now in Canada, US right now has legalized same-sex marriage. There's a lot of progress that's happening. But in a lot of countries, there's a backlash against that progress. So we'll hear rhetoric from some religious groups in Africa saying that it's un-African and it's Western propaganda to be legalizing same-sex marriage or to give gay rights. So sometimes you see a backlash against those advances that we have. And that's one of the things that really drove me to want to get involved with this organization is I felt as a gay man in Canada, I have it very, very good and I live very comfortably. I rarely face discrimination now, but I know that I have brothers and sisters around the world who are facing terrible situations, and it really is compelling that you just feel that if you can do something, you have to do something.
So, Carmen, for people out there in our own city, friends and family, what words of wisdom can you give them, to step out, have a say, do something?
I think for me, the biggest thing, being heavily involved in a lot of charities over the last couple of years, is I really believe in many people doing a small thing and someone kind of organizing that and bringing together a big thing. And that's what I like my fundraisers to be about, is even if it's just $50 or $100 or a couple $1,000, and you bring many people together, bring awareness to the issue, and then we all pool our resources together. And that's what it's all about.
Oh, well, we thank you. And Carmen is just one of many to get the word out. Once again, where can people go to learn more about you?
You can visit rainbowrailroad.ca to find out more about how you can get involved and help out.
Oh, and I suggest you go there because I loved it. You have all your staff bios there, and I tell you, they come from all walks of life. So thank you, Justin. Thank you, Carmen. It is the Rainbow Railroad.